So we have Boruto chapter 53, and before I start, I just want to say, I'm sorry for not getting out the chapter review a lot earlier than before. If you saw this past weekend, I was putting out so many videos, especially with the Boruto news, with Jump Festa, the spoilers, the episode review, the time skip. Like, I put out so many videos this past weekend, and I needed a break. I had to take a little break because this is actually my third time recording this video. My previous 2 times, they were awful, like I had no energy, but it's been a good 3 days, and I feel a lot better now. So the chapter begins with Kawaki being summoned to the battlefield like we all saw from last chapter. Naruto and Sasuke tell Kawaki to run as far away from Ishiki as possible, and this is where Ishiki literally punches the Baryon mode out of Naruto. Ishiki then catches up to Kawaki while he is running away and manages to grab him by the throat. Sasuke then uses Amino Tijakara to swap places with Kawaki, leaving a smoke bomb. Kawaki throws the smoke bomb to the ground, and this smoke bomb actually counters dojutsu-like abilities such as the Byakugan. It's not actually a regular smoke bomb, but a scientific ninja tool which counters Ishiki's Byakugan, helping Kawaki hide for a couple of more minutes. This enrages Ishiki as he can't find Kawaki at all, so he decides to threaten Kawaki that if he doesn't show himself in 20 seconds, Naruto will be shredded to death. And this is where we get some classic Kishimoto writing. Obviously, Kishi is known for his flashbacks, and in this chapter we got back-to-back flashbacks here. The first flashback was Ishiki, and the second one was Naruto, and what I like about seeing these 2 flashbacks in order is that you can see the differences between how Jigen/Ishiki and Naruto, how they treat Kawaki as a kid. In the first flashback, you see Kawaki as a little kid shivering in a corner trying to hide from Jigen. This is literally triggering some insane PTSD from Kawaki as he is currently hiding from Ishiki at this moment. And then we jump into another flashback where we see Kawaki talking to Naruto, and you can already see the differences between how Naruto and Jigen treat their so-called son. Jigen treats Kawaki like absolute trash and looks at him as an object. He doesn't really look at him as a human. Jigen only cared about progressing Kawaki's karma seal at the time and really had no regard for his life. You can tell that Kawaki suffered a lot while training under Jigen as he was forced to do things he really didn't want to do. With Naruto on the other hand, Kawaki is treated like the complete opposite when compared to Jigen. Unlike Jigen, Naruto treats Kawaki like an actual human being and makes a real connection with him, saying that Kawaki reminds him of himself back in the day as a little kid. And in this flashback we see where Naruto accepts Kawaki as a student, and when you compare it to the likes of Jigen, you can tell that Kawaki, he never really wanted to train with Jigen, whereas Kawaki deliberately asked Naruto to teach him ninjutsu. And these 2 flashbacks really hit for me because it highlighted the differences between Naruto and Jigen as fathers to Kawaki. Naruto was really open and kind, while Jigen was just cold and only used Kawaki as a pawn. So once Ishiki finished counting down to 20, Kawaki came out at the last second, and this is where Ishiki grabs Kawaki, starting the karma process. Ishiki starts laughing, thinking he has won, and is successful in giving the karma seal on Kawaki when we suddenly see the karma seal slowly fade off Kawaki's body. And I just want to say that these were easily my favorite panels in this chapter. Ikimoto did a really good job slowing down the panels and really showing the karma seal erase off Kawaki's body. Seeing Ishiki's body slowly crack and disintegrate, indicating that his life force hit 0, was really pleasing to me. So Ikimoto did a really good job portraying it, so good job Ikimoto. I know he gets a lot of criticism for his fights. I know he's not the best artist, but these panels right here are easily my favorite panels of the chapter, and Ikimoto did a really good job indicating Kawaki losing his karma seal. I really enjoyed it. We learned that Kawaki used a shadow clone to trick Ishiki, and I love this move from Kishimoto because this is a classic OG Naruto moment. Like, the trick is always behind the trick, and we always saw this from Kid Naruto when he was fighting an enemy, and now Kawaki used the same exact technique. And I find this really cool from Kishi because the shadow clone jutsu also defined how lonely Naruto was as a kid, and even Sasuke stated in their battle at Final Valley at the end of Naruto Shippuden that the shadow clone jutsu showed how lonely Naruto was as a kid, and you can say that for Kawaki as well. Kawaki, growing up before he met the likes of Naruto and Boruto, he was very lonely as a kid. Even when Jigen adopted him, he was treated like nothing and absolute trash, just like how Kid Naruto was treated in the earlier parts of OG Naruto. These callbacks really showed how similar Naruto and Kawaki are as kids, and I really appreciate that out of both characters. But anyways, Kawaki plays Ishiki like an absolute bitch and proceeds to say, seems like you want to say something, not that it matters. You're gonna die totally outsmarted and beaten by a mere vessel, so whatever it is, this is your reality. Kawaki then stomps the hell out of Ishiki, turning him into dust, effectively killing him, and it seems like the battle versus Ishiki is over, and this is where Kawaki, Sasuke, and Naruto reunite themselves, and Sasuke asks Naruto, how the hell did he get that power? And if you look closely, Naruto is struggling to answer Sasuke. It seems like something may have happened to Kurama from using the Baryon mode, as he seems nervous to answer Sasuke. And then all of a sudden, Borushiki, Momoshiki, whatever you want to say it, he comes out of nowhere and stabs Sasuke's rinnegan from behind and says, I never thought you would actually defeat Ishiki, but good, now you're the only 3 nuisances left. And that is how the chapter ends, and I can't believe Momoshiki did something this crazy. I seriously don't know how to feel about Sasuke potentially losing using his rinnegan. I have very mixed feelings about it, but I do understand why Kishimoto wrote this. I just know that Naruto and Sasuke are not safe anymore. They don't have the plot armor, no jutsu to protect them from stuff like this, and to be honest, this raises the stakes for the Boruto series even more. Like, a lot of criticism toward Boruto was that there's no stakes, and it's like, what the hell are you reading? Like, Boruto's gonna lose his body, but now that Sasuke doesn't have his rinnegan, he's essentially useless at this point. He can't fight these old Otsutskis without his rinnegan. Like, what the hell is he gonna do against someone like Momoshiki? Especially once he gets to 100%. You gotta remember, Boruto right now, Ishiki said in chapter 50 that Boruto, as of right now, his karma seal is 80% complete. Therefore, Momoshiki only has 20% left to process, and Momoshiki is at about 80% full power, and we know how strong Momoshiki is, and Sasuke can't really do shit about this guy. He can't access these other dimensions, he can't use his best jutsus, especially the way he relies on his rinnegan, spamming Amino to Chikara, swapping places. He can't really use it like that and like he used to do. And I'm gonna make a couple of videos about Naruto and Sasuke and how I feel about Kishi doing what he did to his OG characters, as there was a lot of stuff to take away from this chapter, and I don't want to make this video too long. And also, another thing that worries me is if Ishiki is really dead. You gotta remember from episode 1, Kawaki has the karma seal in the future, so it is inevitable that Kawaki gets the karma seal again, and it does look like Ishiki's karma pattern. So let me know how you think Kawaki will get the karma seal again. Will it be Ishiki or even another Otsutsuki that can be introduced potentially in the future? I'm definitely gonna make a couple of videos about that as well, but overall, great chapter. I'm gonna be dropping a couple more discussion videos about this chapter in the next couple of days. I know a lot of people were pissed about the last page, especially with Sasuke potentially losing his rinnegan. I'm gonna talk about that as well, because there are other ways to combat this loss, and there's so many things that Kishimoto can do to get Sasuke to his former power again. Like, there is a lot of possibilities. I'll be making a video on that as well. And also, I just want to say, Momoshiki's a savage. Like, Momoshiki, he is a boss. Like, I cannot believe that he stabbed Sasuke's rinnegan. You gotta remember, back in episode 65, his rinnegan was stabbed by Sasuke, so Momoshiki got his revenge. Like, you gotta remember, when Sasuke was fighting Momoshiki, Boruto threw a kunai, Momoshiki was holding the kunai while Sasuke was using Chidori, and then Sasuke used Amino to Chikara to swap the Chidori and the kunai, and then Sasuke put the kunai through Momoshiki's rinnegan, and now Momoshiki got his revenge. I love that, man, because now Kishimoto, I think what he's trying to do now, he's trying to build Boruto as the so-called villain, as the antagonist and the protagonist at the same time. Cannot wait for next chapter, because we're gonna get Borushiki versus a nerfed Naruto and Sasuke and a karma-less Kawaki, and I don't think they're gonna win. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, it's gonna be very tough for them to beat Borushiki. So let me know in the comment section below how you feel about this chapter. How do you feel about Sasuke losing his rinnegan? But let me know what you think about that. So if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell as well, and have a good day. Peace.